Here we are, man. Live from apartment 39. It's your boy. You know who I am. Raymond Lamar Lee. 1R, 2 L's. So anyway, I'm gonna do another CD review. Haven't did a review in a minute. I think the last time I hit y'all was with my boy Black 865. So shout out to Black. Did a review of To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. And I'm excited to do this review because unfortunately sometimes I miss folks. So first of all, I gotta preface this by saying shout out to my man Dez and my man 7 Figs, because y'all tried to put me on to this guy, especially 7 Figs. You gave me like disc of this guy years ago. But let's see if I can get this in the shot. Can y'all see that? Not sure, but I wanted to show y'all again. I bought a CD. This is Oddisee, and this is called The Good Fight, which came out in March, I believe, of this year, 2015. So where do I start with this? Totally different from To Pimp a Butterfly, but Oddisee is crazy dope. If you don't know who he is, Oddisee. Yeah, I had to look at the CD to spell it. But Oddisee is dope, man. He's out of DC, Maryland area. That's how they say it. But the DC, Maryland area of Oddisee, I've heard him for a while. Listened to him on Little Brother joints. He's got joints with Fonte. And I thought he was dope, but just didn't quite get into him. And like I said, my dudes try to put me on to him, but this is a really good album. Number one thing I want to say that caught my eye about this album, like, he didn't cuss on this album, and typically before he has cussed, but he didn't cuss or use the N-word, and I think that's incredible. I mean, you know, a lot of people think I might be picking on rappers for cursing, but like, really, if you go back to some of the greats, the legends, like, you know, a lot of people hail Rakim as the god. Like, Rakim didn't cuss in his raps, and y'all praise him. Like, so just this whole thing, that's why I say NWA changed the game. But anyway, getting back to Oddisee. Oddisee doesn't cuss, he doesn't use the N-word, and he's rapping about substance. Again, it's not a whole lot of rapping about rapping. Shout out to Dewance. We talk about that a lot. But it's not a lot about just rapping about rapping. It's about real life. And he's one of those artists that I connected with because he just talked about real things. Like, you know, I was never a dope dealer, you know, wasn't a big gangster, pimp, no guy like that. But I went through regular things that like regular people went through, and Oddisee raps about those things, like the song Contradictions Maze. And again, that's another thing, you know, going back to Pimp a Butterfly, it was very vulnerable and very honest, and like just common folk, like, you know, and just being different. He raps about being different, raps about, you know, how he feels about music, how he feels about his people. He raps about being Sudanese American. Like, we never heard of a Sudanese American rapper, but yeah, his folks are from Sudan. So, and we don't get a whole lot of the DC, Maryland perspective. You know, we know of them through Go-Go, and we got Wale, but ironically, him and Wale have never worked together. But Oddisee is real dope. I tell you one thing that really gets me sold on rappers. Like, I'll listen to a rapper and then I'll like YouTube him, and I'll see like an interview, and like, if you can hold an interview and hold my attention and really get me to check out what you say as a person, the person behind the words on the songs, you really got me as a fan, because I'm a fan of interviews too. Like, Oddisee's a really great interviewee, I guess that's what we would call him. But he brought up something that I really connected with. He talked about there's 2 types of music fans, and maybe you guys can figure out who you are. But there's the music fans that are spoon-fed, and then there's the seekers. And I heard him talk about this in an interview, and I thought that was dope, because I always talk about me, you know, I grew up in Atlanta, grew up in East Tennessee, but a very intricate part, significant part of my childhood was in Greenville, Tennessee, where we didn't have a radio station. We didn't have like bootleg CDs on the block and stuff like that. So to really and this was probably to me the best time of hip hop when I lived up there, it was in the early 90s. So you know, this is when Tribe Called Quest came out with you know, Low End Theory and The Chronic and all that, Snoop Dogg, Das Effects, Redman. I could go on, Snoop, Nas, Big, all that stuff was coming out. And so to find this stuff, you had to be a seeker. And so that's what I am. I'm a seeker of hip hop. So, and you can tell who the seekers are. And shout out to all my seekers who's watching it. And then there's people that are just spoon-fed music. You get the music that everybody hears, and you just kind of sort through that. But me, I've always been a seeker. I've always been a person who's looking for the artist that nobody else is listening to. Because in the beginning, hip hop was that. Like, hip hop was this like secret society that you had to, you know, delve into, like, to really know about it. Before, you know, MTV Raps and all that, you know, Rap City, you know, like, unless your parents or somebody had that music, like, you wasn't privileged to understanding that culture. Or, you know, unless you grew up in New York City and it was like right there in front of you, you know, and the block parties and all that. So I say all that to just say Oddisee is one of those seeks. Shout out to my peoples who tried to put me on to him, you know, 6-7 years ago. Oddisee is one of my favorite rappers right now. I would have to say Oddisee, Skyzoo, Kendrick Lamar, Saha the Prince, another guy. Those are some of my favorite artists right now, and part of why I like them, not part of why I like them, but an extra incentive why I like them is because, like, nobody else really knows about them. There's people that know about them, but like, it's kind of like this whole other nerdy hip-hop snobbish world that I live in. And so shout out to all my hip-hop snobs. You know how we do. But Oddisee's dope, so go get this. The Good Fight. Favorite songs on here is Contradiction Maze is one of them. That's Love, the first track, is crazy. Book Covers is crazy. Love that. Don't judge a book by its cover if you don't even read. There's no shame in saying that you're not up to speed. Yeah, that's dope. But this is really good. It's short, it's 12 songs, but pick Oddisee up, The Good Fight. Buy it. Like, order it, download it off iTunes or something. Like, support these people, man. But that's what I got to say about Oddisee. But this is our Lamar TV, man. Raymond Lamar Lee, the hip-hop intellectual. Peace and love to everybody who watches my video. I really sincerely appreciate all you guys. One love. I love you, and I love hip-hop. Peace.